Hi folks, Jamie from jrr.yoga here for Wellness Wednesday yoga practice. Find a seat. Legs can be crossed or out straight. Sitting on a blanket is helpful to get your hips a little higher than your knees and make sitting at an upright position on the floor a little bit more comfortable. So feel free to make that adjustment as needed for any seated postures. Once you find your seat, lengthen your spine, sitting nice and tall, growing height in your body from your seat all the way up to the top of your head. Allow your eyes to come closed and your chin to tuck slightly. Hands resting on your lap or knees, shoulders soft. Take a moment here to observe your breath without changing anything about it. Looking for rough spots. For the depth of your breath. Now start to lengthen your inhales and lengthen your exhales, finding your way toward a breath that is full, deep, and even. Big inhales, full exhales. Gently blink your eyes open. Take your right hand down to the floor next to you. Inhale the left arm up toward the ceiling. With an exhale, coming into a twist, left hand comes to the right leg. Right hand supports behind you. You can always lean back a bit here, still finding length in your spine if that's a more comfortable twist for you. Inhale, untwist, walk those hands back around. Taking the left hand down, we'll bring right arm up. Exhale, twist to your left. Right hand to that left leg, left hand supporting your twist on the floor behind you. And inhale, untwist. From here, move your way to a tabletop position on hands and knees. Once you are here in a comfortable tabletop, hands are stacked right under your shoulders or slightly forward of your shoulders. Inhale into a cow pose, arch that spine, lift hips, lift chest. And exhale, round that spine into cat. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, round into cat. One more round, inhale, finding cow pose. And exhale into cat pose. Find your way back to a neutral spine. Step your right hand about an inch to the right. Place your weight into that hand. Inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling. Exhale, thread your left arm under your right, head and shoulder down toward the ground. It's a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a shoulder opener. With your next inhale, we'll take that left arm back up toward the ceiling. Left hand comes back down to the mat. Let's take that left hand, step it about an inch to the left, place your weight into the hand. Inhale, right arm up, and exhale, thread right arm under the left, head and shoulder down toward the ground. And inhale, press your way back up, lifting the torso, taking your right arm back toward the ceiling. With your next exhale, right hand comes back down to the mat. Here, keep your hips stacked right above your knee. Walk those hands forward, chest and face sinking down toward the ground into puppy pose. Elbows are staying off the ground here. If it comfortably reaches, your forehead could rest on the floor. You can always stay engaged and keep that head lifted if that's a more comfortable space for you. And inhale, find your way back to tabletop. From your tabletop position, work your way down to your stomach, belly button, chest, and then forehead to the mat. Step those hands back so they're closer to your low ribs. Tuck the elbows in towards your sides. Those tops of the feet stay planted on the mat here. Inhale, lift your head, lift your chest. We're doing some engagement through the midsection of the body here. Abdomen, low back, and even glutes to help you find this lift. And with an exhale, chest and then forehead come back down. With the next inhale, lift head, lift chest. We're coming back to your low cobra. You can choose to stay right here. Or if you're looking for a bit of a deeper back bend, press those hands into the mat, lifting into a high cobra. Shoulders, either way, stay out of your ears and in a neutral position. With your next exhale, belly button, chest, and forehead come back to the ground. Slide those hands forward. Lift your torso. Bring the elbows to the ground. We're coming into Sphinx Pose here. So pressing your forearms and elbows into the mat. Finding length and height in your spine. Gaze can be low in between your hands. Or you can bring it forward, whatever feels comfortable in your neck. Now find your way back to chest and forehead resting on the mat. Hands again next to your low ribs, palms down. From here, work your way up to a brief tabletop. Then walk the hands forward, plant those hands on the mat, working into downward facing dog. Walk your feet up towards your hands or your hands back to your feet. Either way, finding your way to a half standing forward fold. Lengthen the spine, nose points down toward the floor. And with an exhale, sink in to your standing forward fold. Inhale to an upward salute, arms come up overhead. And hands down to your heart. Inhale, sweep those arms up, upward salute. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take those hands back down to the mat. Step the feet back, find your version of plank. Knees can be on the ground or off the ground. Now, take those knees down to the floor. Find your way up to kneeling here. Hands come to the hips, to the low back. Tuck those elbows to point behind you. Finding a lower back bend here. Press those hips forward, lifting that chest like there's a string tied to the middle of it, being pulled up toward the top of the wall in front of you. Chin can tuck or lift. Now draw those hips back. Take your hands back down to the mat into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands or hands back to the feet. Come into half standing forward fold. And exhale, sink into standing forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, come back to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do one more round of that version of sun salutation. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, feet to your plank. Take the knees down to the floor, moving up into a kneeling position. Hands come to your low back or hips, elbows tuck behind you. Into your back bend, hips press forward, lifting that chest. Draw those hips back in space. Take your hands back down to the mat into downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands or hands back to the feet. Inhale, half standing forward fold. Exhale, sink into standing forward fold. Inhale, arms come up overhead, upward salute. And exhale, hands to heart. We'll move into a standing twist here. Start by stepping your right foot forward, just about 1 foot length forward. Think about kind of pressing your right hip forward in space. We'll take that left arm forward and right arm back. This is a very active twist. You have to use those muscles to find your way into it. And drop your arms along your side. Chest turns to face forward. Step your right foot back, left foot forward. Knees stay a little soft. We're going to press that left hip forward. Right arm comes forward. Left arm back, or maybe even hand to hip. Gaze is wherever it's comfortable for your neck here. Drop the arms along your side, chest turns forward. You can step that right foot back up to meet your left. From here, work your way down to the floor, finding your way onto your back. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms are along your sides. Now here, your heels are either stacked right underneath your knees or slightly forward. Feet and knees are both hip width apart. Move into a bridge pose here, so planting those feet, pressing them into the mat to find some lift here in your hips. Think about actively squeezing your knees toward each other. You're not necessarily working to make them touch. You're just keeping them active and going toward the midline. With an exhale, bring those hips back down to the floor. Sway the knees a little bit here, side to side. Let go of the tension that you may have found in that pose. Here, bring the soles of your feet together. The knees come out wide into a reclined bound angle pose. Let the hands be supported either by resting them on yourself or backs of the hands on the floor. Take your knees back toward the ceiling, feet flat to the floor here. Moving into Shavasana now. You can straighten those legs, allow them to be supported by the floor. Hands again can rest on your abdomen or backs of the hands on the floor. If this is hard on your low back, you can tuck something underneath the knees, or you can choose to have knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Just make sure your low back is feeling comfortable here. As you let your eyes come closed, bring your focus and attention to your breath. And here, take 4 deep, full inhales and exhales. After that 4th exhale, allow your breath to come back to whatever is currently natural for it. Remain here on your back. And while you are here, picture a small white light right behind your belly button, in the center of your abdomen. That light creates warmth in your body. As you inhale, the warmth in that light grows warmer. When you exhale, the light expands to cover more of your body. We inhale to warm and exhale to spread that warmth from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. A warm, comforting white light covers you from tips of your toes to the top of your head. Remain here in Shavasana for as long as you like, focusing on that white, warm light. Finding your way back to your day whenever you are ready.